Hey guys, my name is Sanjay. Welcome to the Engineer Wannabe YouTube channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at a really special watch to me personally. This is the Seiko SBGA415, the Four Seasons Original Seasons Winter Collection or Winter Edition, also known as the Taitetsu. Beautiful watch. I am really excited to have it, and I'm excited to review it. It's been too long. On my wrist today, just to do a quick wristwatch check, is the Seiko SBGM221. I really enjoy this piece as well. I got it right now on a deluxe leather strap. Feel it's a bit summery with the strap combo. But anyway, let's get into the review. But actually before that, I want to let you know that you are infinitely valuable. An infinite price has been paid for you. You are really precious. And I mean that. I don't just say that to everyone. I mean, I do say it to everyone, but I don't say it flippantly. So you are infinitely valuable, and I appreciate you. All right, so let's get into the review. Okay, so here it is, the SBGA415, also known as the Taitetsu. It's a beautiful watch. It's made out of grade 5 titanium here. And so it is very light, so I'm going to give you guys the weight measurement first, and afterwards we can blow through the other specs. But this weighs 89 grams on the bracelet size to my 16 centimeters circumference wrist, so 6¼ inch wrist. This weighs 89 grams. The watch head, if you were to put this on a strap, minus the strap weight, the watch head weighs 51 grams, so most of that weight is in the watch head. Let's go through the other dimensions real quick here. This is a 40 millimeter watch. It's 13 millimeters thick, 47 millimeters lug to lug. That's rounded up. Lug width is 21 millimeters. Accuracy on this guy, let's just blow through all those, the formalities. So the accuracy on this guy, I have not been able to get it to deviate. The longest I wore this in one stretch was 3 weeks. It did not lose a second in those 3 weeks. So this dial looks kind of like a cloud. That's, at least that's what I think of when I see this watch. Some people say they think of dirty snow, but to me this looks like a rain cloud, and I think the winter designation is very well fitting for this watch. I really enjoy this dial. It is cotton candy-esque in some ways too. Very, very nice. You can see some of the detail there. Now, some might say that the gray on gray is a bit too much gray going on here, which I would kind of agree with, which is why this looks great on a strap. I tend to wear this on a bluish strap. I have a gray strap as well. It's a different shade of gray. In a weird way, it kind of breaks it up as well. And a nice brown strap does this watch wonders as well. Or black strap looks really good too. But I mentioned that thickness earlier, the 13 centimeter thickness. It does not feel it. It doesn't look it either. So some of the tricks Seiko have applied, we've seen before. They've got these facets here, and the facets are really high polished. So as you can see there, that looks it's beautifully black polished. So it's Zaratsu polished, as Seiko calls it. So that facet kind of takes away from the visual weight, at least, or visual thickness. There is it's polished on the underside here as well, and there is a bit of a bubbled case back here, which sinks into your wrist. And of course, in the end, I would say it kind of wears like a 12 millimeter thick watch. But one thing I also mentioned, which matters here, is the fact that it is a little top heavy. The titanium with the bracelet does not, I feel, provide sufficient counterweight for the watch head. It's a very, very minor thing here. I believe that the steel version, those ones, I think sufficiently counterweight the watch head, but there's a different look that comes with it. I know it looks like a straight dial and movement swap on those watches, but there's more to it than that. And maybe I'll do a video. Actually, I do plan to do a video comparing my summer with this winter. Visually, this looks the best. It's really close, but to me this looks the best. Got beautiful brushing on the tops of the lugs here. In the center case here, just past the dial, is polished, Zeratsu polished, high polished. So I mean, it's a really different watch. This almost feels like a cushion cased watch, but it doesn't look it. So you got this this high polish here. The bracelet, I'm not sure about how that looks. I mean, this watch really shines on the strap. It needs to be on the strap, and as you can see, it does have pierced lugs or drilled lugs or lug hole apertures, lug apertures. So it's super easy to remove the bracelet and put on a strap, and I do recommend that for this watch. Let's talk a bit about this bracelet. Made of titanium, like I mentioned earlier. It's got polished intermediate links here, kind of has that old school Speedmaster look. There is a significant gap here on the clasp, not too refined of a look there, but it's all right. It's very comfortable, for me at least. Very comfortable to wear, very light. This bracelet is sized with pins and sleeves, so no screws. I personally like that. I'm a pin and sleeve kind of guy. I don't like screws. They can strip. I'm just different. Objectively, I think screws are probably better for most people. Subjectively, I like pins and collars, so you know what? I can take it or leave it, whether it's screws or pins and collars. But you should know that Grand Seiko and titanium, usually they put pins and sleeves. Movement here is a 9R65. It is very fairly decorated. On the dial here it says spring drive, and that is the technology behind this movement. So spring drive is an incredible technology. It uses a quartz crystal to regulate the release of energy from a spring using an electromagnetic brake. That's kind of a really simplified version of saying that. But basically, the quartz crystal keeps the time, and there is a completely mechanical drivetrain for the hands, but there is an electromagnetic brake that slows them down. So there's no batteries, no capacitors, nothing to generate power other than the spring. So it's spring driven. There's some really great videos out there about spring drive. Teddy Baldessar did a great overview of it. I would refer everyone to go watch that. Mark from Long Island Watch as well. Really great resources out there to look into. But spring drive is just something to behold. So, and as I told you, the accuracy is that of a quartz watch, if not better. Rated to get plus or minus 15 seconds a month. But as I told you, I couldn't make it lose a second or gain a second. So going back to the case of this watch, you can see this is called a 62GS case design. You can see the facets here on the lugs. It is kind of an evolution of the 44GS case. You can see that really interesting lug profile. You might also have noticed that there's no bezel here. The box sapphire sits proud, and it's not protected in any way. There's no bezel that is holding things together or anything like that. It's a bezel-less design, and it's very, very striking. Very beautiful look. I really enjoy this this case design. I still prefer the 44GS case design, but this is a close second. The bracelet does have male end links, and it does extend out, I think, to almost 51 millimeters, but they do curve down really aggressively, so you really won't have any trouble fitting this on any wrist, really. Maybe 16 centimeters is the lower end, maybe 15.5 centimeter circumference wrist. But as you can see, this is how it looks on my wrist up close. From a distance, it looks even better. But I really like the way this wears. I like the lightness. I like the the bezel-less design, the beautiful sapphire crystal. And of course, I didn't mention that there's that really nice power reserve indicator in the front as well. That a lot of people don't like, but I do like a little bit of chaos in my Serenity. So that power reserve indicator is right up my alley. That's the chaos that I need. I like how the hand is beautifully polished. If you'd like to look at that power reserve indicator hand, beautifully polished and capped. One gripe I have is that they didn't cap this second hand, or the hand stack, the main hand stack, which is kind of sad. But the power reserve indicator is capped. It's got two applied indices to indicate full and empty. Very beautifully done. Other details that I didn't mention, the Grand Seiko logo is in gold, and the second hand is thermally blued. I'm not sure how you might feel about this rehot. I really like it when a company goes through the effort of actually printing the indices or the minute marks on the dial rather than resorting to an applied chapter ring. I feel like it cheapens the look a little bit. You can tell that the crown tube here is shrouded. So there's an extended crown tube. I really like this detail. Just the little details that that matter, that make things really great on this watch. You may have heard that winding action. It is really rough. That's a characteristic of spring drive. The automatic spring drive watches have a really rough wind to it. It is not pleasant. I've since found a few people who actually enjoy that harsh spinning a motor, forcing a motor sound. That's just a characteristic of spring drive. It's not broken. There's no sand inside the movement or anything like that. Well, guys, that's really all I wanted to talk about. This is my owner's experience with this SBGA415. There's a lot of resources out there about the history of Grand Seiko and all that. That's not what my channel is about, although I do appreciate those things, the heritage and history, which is why I really like Grand Seiko. It's my kind of brand, as you can tell. I hope you're doing really well, everyone. Want to say it again? You guys are infinitely valuable. I appreciate you. Whether you like me or not, you are precious and infinitely valuable. And I hope you are well. I hope your family is well. And I want you to have a great day. Take care. Stay safe, everyone. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.